Happy Wednesday hump day, crypto fam, what it do? Holla at your boy in the live chat. In today's show, I'm going to be sharing one of the greatest Bitcoin metrics, which currently says the Bitcoin price bull run is here. In breaking news, Tether to buy Bitcoin based on their monthly net profits. Quoting Tether, starting this month, Tether will regularly allocate up to 15% of its net realized operating profits towards purchasing Bitcoin. Max Kaiser's response, he says Tether is more than 100% backed. It is hugely profitable. They are true Bitcoiners, and USDC are scammers. He also says the new king of Bitcoin is Tether. Michael Saylor had a great run. Long live the new king. Also in today's show, Lightning Labs launches updated protocol to help solve the Bitcoin's BRC20 issues. We'll also be discussing court victory for Ripple as judge denies SEC motion to seal the Hinman docs. Max responded to this. Gary's right. Everything not Bitcoin is a security, including ETH and XRP. We already put this into law in El Salvador. We are Bitcoin country and we are thriving. I invite Gensler to El Salvador to come and see how we became the leading Bitcoin country in the world. Also in today's show, I'll be sharing 3 top crypto analysts and their predictions of big Bitcoin rallies, as well as their targets. I'll also be breaking down Bitcoin going into the millions, predicts Giga Chad MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. Welcome everyone tuning in. This is pod episode number 1284 of the Crypto News Alerts podcast. I'm your host JV. Today is March 17th, 2023. And checking out the market watch, you can see we're currently correcting back in the red, with Bitcoin now back under 26,800, down about 1% for the day. We also have Ether down 1%, trading back under $1,800, while XRP is breaking out, up 4% for the day, trading just above 44 cents. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap still above 1.1 trillion, with about 30 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance back on the decline at 46.4%, and the Ether dominance back on the decline at 19.3%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, Axie Infinity up 6%, trading above $7, followed by Decentraland up 5%, trading just under 50 cents, followed by XRP up 4%, trading just above 44 cents. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, we can see a couple of the top losers are Hex down 23% and Pepe down 12%. And the biggest gainers, AXS up 6% and FTT, believe it or not, up 8.8%. The one crypto that never seems to be going away. But nonetheless, checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, you can see we're currently rated dead in the middle, neutral at a 50. Yesterday was a 54, last week a 52, and last month a 69 in greed. So there you have it. And welcome to everyone just tuning in to today's live show. Now let's break down today's technical analysis, as I have very bullish chart to be sharing with you. Bitcoin's entering into a new speculation cycle, typical of a bull run, according to the latest analysis. In a new tweet by Philip Swift, creator of Data Resource, Look into Bitcoin, and co-founder of Trading Suite, decent trader. I've also interviewed him on the show, so shout out to Philip Swift. He says that the R-HODL ratio is a method of tracking the Bitcoin price behavior, which we know based on the realized price of the supply, the price at which the coins were last moved. Created by Swift in 2020, it compares the relative ages of coins which moved 1 week ago to those which moved just 1 or 2 years ago. This ratio gives an insight into the relative activity of the short-term hodlers and long-term hodlers, and by extension, the extent to which speculation is present in the market. Currently, the R-HODL is bouncing higher, having hit its green accumulation zone at the end of 2022. And at this time, Swift says that Bitcoin was at the point of maximum opportunity, something which has since proven true, with Bitcoin gaining 70% in quarter 1 thus far this year. Actually, we're now in quarter 2, right? And prior to that, the descent towards that point was coincided, the descent, with Bitcoin's own retreat to the macro lows, and now with speculative activity seeming increasing, he believes a new Bitcoin bull cycle is already underway. Quoting him here, when I created the Bitcoin R-HODL ratio indicator back in 2020, one thing that struck me was how it showed a new bull run is forming when the ratio value of younger coins began to increase, which is where we are at right now. As he shares alongside this chart, don't panic about the small price pullbacks, just zoom out. Great reminder, Swift is not alone in his conviction. Responding, we had Checkmate, lead on-chain analyst at Gladnode. He called the R-HODL ratio one of the greatest on-chain finds. And this chart, meanwhile, added that the 2021 bull market, despite delivering a blow off top for the King Crypto, did not see a copycat move for the R-HODL. The last time this metric hit its red high speculation zone was at Bitcoin's prior all-time high, all the way back in late 2017. Now continuing, Swift argue on the shorter time frame, the market participants remain risk-off in the crypto markets. The conclusion followed a scan of funding rates on the exchanges with a slew of bearish ratings for Bitcoin generated by Decent Trader. These concerned open interest and long-short ratio in addition to funding the rates themselves. Quoting him here, market is still fearful, depressed, and uninterested, he summarized. And earlier in the month, he said in an update forecast on what might happen to Bitcoin in the final year before its next block subsidy halving, amongst other eventualities, a return to 20,000 is not out of the question. So there you have it. And now let's dive into some breaking news with Tether killing the game right now as their market cap continues to go parabolic while USDC continues to decline. And so this is nothing but goodness for Bitcoin. Tether, the company behind the largest stablecoin Tether, is following, I guess USDC, USDT is Tether, USDC is Circle. Following in the footsteps of MicroStrategy to manage its reserves, the stablecoin issuer plans to strengthen its reserves with the help of Bitcoin and move away from the US-based government debts. In an announcement on May 17th, Tether revealed it plans to invest a portion of its profits into Bitcoin on a monthly basis. The firm said it will regularly allocate up to 15% of its net realized operating profits towards purchasing Bitcoin, which they announced here in this tweet. They also say these Bitcoin shall be considered on top of the minimum reserve assets that back 100% of the Tether tokens. Let's freaking go. The announcement comes within a week of the company's quarterly financial report, where the stablecoin issuer reported $1.5 billion in net profits. Not too shabby. And according to a statement from the company, Tether will keep all of its Bitcoin in self-custody, and at the end of the first quarter of 2023, it had $1.1 billion in Bitcoin in hand, making up around 2% of its total reserves. 85% of the holdings were in cash, cash equivalents, and other short-term deposits, primarily treasury bills. Tether claimed Bitcoin was an obvious choice since the market-leading crypto has proven to be a long-term store of value for assets. The stablecoin issuer cited Bitcoin's mammoth price rise over the past decade and its resilience against traditional financial failures for their decision. And in a statement, Tether Chief Technology Officer Paolo said that the world's first and largest crypto is underpinned by its potential as an investment asset. He added Bitcoin's limited supply, decentralized nature, and widespread adoption have positioned it as a favored choice amongst institutional and retail investors alike. Now, MicroStrategy has a similar Bitcoin investment plan, actively replacing the US dollar in its reserves with Bitcoin, as Michael Saylor refers to as a melting ice cube if those reserves are in dollars, right? So why not put it into Bitcoin? Although MicroStrategy doesn't have a fixed time frame for its Bitcoin investment, Tether plans to do it at the end of each month. And on the back of this news, Max Kaiser tweeted, Tether is more than 100% backed. It's hugely profitable. They are true Bitcoiners. USDC are scammers. And you got to give respect where respect is due, because Max has been calling out USDC as being a scam for quite some time and has been sticking behind Tether when all that mainstream FUD was coming. Remember last year, Max also says that the new king of Bitcoin is Tether. Michael Saylor had a great run, but long live the new king. So there you have it. Let's freaking go. And now let's break down our next story of the day and discuss the latest of what's happening with Lightning Labs. They discovered a solution for the BRC20 congestion of the Bitcoin blockchain. And then we'll dive into the latest between Ripple and the SEC, as well as some big Bitcoin rally predictions from top analysts. And then the Giga Chat himself, Michael Saylor's $1 million Bitcoin price prediction. Bitcoin users have been given possibly more efficient way to mint new assets on the blockchain after an updated edition of the recent rebranded Taproot Assets protocol was released by Lightning Labs. In a May 16 blog post, Lightning network infrastructure firm Lightning Labs criticized the current methods by which assets are inscribed onto the Bitcoin blockchain, calling them particularly inefficient and pointing to a cumbersome protocol that write asset metadata directly into the block space. The Taproot Assets protocol is designed to operate maximally off-chain in order to avoid the network congestion that has become an unfortunate characteristic of the Bitcoin network since the inception of the BRC20 token standard by anonymous developer Domo on March 8th. Lightning Labs said protocol users could soon integrate BRC20 assets into the Lightning network with wallets, exchanges, and merchants ported over instead of needing to bootstrap a new ecosystem from scratch. Domo previously said that Taproot Asset Protocol is a far better solution for minting new assets on Bitcoin when compared to the pre-existing methods like JavaScript object notation, as it allows for users to easily transfer to the Lightning Network for fast and cheap transactions. The overwhelming majority of the BRC20 tokens created thus far utilize ordinal inscriptions of that JSON data to deploy token contracts, mint tokens, as well as transfer them. This method has drawn widespread criticism from the developers, who claim the process costs 4 times as much in transaction fees compared to just using binary. The Taproot Assets protocol is the rebranded version of the original Taro protocol. Lightning Labs was forced to change the name of the software following what it called a frivolous trademark infringement suit filed against them by blockchain development firm Terry Labs on December 8th of last year. Currently, the total value of BRC20 tokens surpassed $1 billion mark back on May 9th, but has since shrunk back down to $500 million, a drop of nearly 50%. So there you have it. Do you see this as a viable scaling solution for the BRC20 tokens? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. Now for the latest with Ripple versus the SEC, as XRP just had a nice victory in court, hence why they're currently pumping right now up 4 or 5% for the day. A motion from the U.S. securities regulator to seal the records of the internal deliberations following a speech by former director William Hinman has been denied, a move that has seen as a win for Ripple in the crypto community. In the June 2018 speech, the former SEC Corporation Finance Division director stated that Ether, the native token of Ethereum, is not a security. That's right. Back in 2018, they announced that. But right now, Gary can't provide any clarity because he's no clarity Gary. The SEC filed a motion December 22nd to seal the internal emails, text messages, and expert reports that followed the Hinman speech, arguing that its mission outweighed the public right to access documents that have no relevance to the court summary judgment decision, amongst other arguments. However, Judge Torres for the U.S. District Court ruled that the documents are judicial documents subject to a strong presumption of public access. The Hinman speech documents would reasonably have a tendency to influence the court's ruling on a motion, she added. So as their CEO of Ripple wrote here, Brad Garlinghouse, another win for transparency, unredacted Hinman emails to be publicly available soon. Stay tuned as the lawyers work through the mechanics to make it happen. So Judge Torres said the court had also rejected the SEC's argument that sealing the documents is necessary to preserve openness and candor with the SEC, stating the following: the Hinman speech documents are not protected by the deliberative process privilege because they do not relate to an agency position, decision, or policy. While the court has ruled the Hinman speech documents will be made public, it has granted the other 2 requests from the SEC that ask for the redaction of names and identifying information of SEC experts and XRP investor declarants. I wonder if that's because Gary's name is involved. What do you think? As well as personal and financial information of the defendants. The court also denied certain motions to seal from Ripple, including references linking Ripple's revenues with XRP sales and the amount of compensation offered to trading platforms, amongst others. Ripple had considered the speech a key piece of evidence in its ongoing legal battle with the SEC, which alleges that the sales of Ripple's XRP violated security laws. And Max Kaiser's response to all this, he says Gary is right. Everything not Bitcoin is a security, including Ethereum and XRP. We already put this into law in El Salvador. We are Bitcoin country and we are thriving. I invite Gary to come to El Salvador to see how we became the leading Bitcoin country in the world. What are your thoughts? How do you feel this is likely to play out for XRP holders and investors? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. Now let's discuss a big Bitcoin rally around the corner, as per some crypto analysts, and then we'll dive into Michael Saylor's $1 million Bitcoin price prediction. 3 widely followed crypto analysts have similar opinions that Bitcoin is likely gearing up for a parabolic surge. Let's go. Let's start with crypto analyst Calvin Day Pop. According to the analyst, Bitcoin continues to trade above 2 crucial technical indicators on the weekly time frame, despite its retreat from the key psychological resistance at $30,000. Quoting him here, Bitcoin breaks upwards and tests 27,600. Good signs. Weekly time frame holding 200 moving average and exponential moving average. I think we're continuing towards 38,000 to 42,000 from here. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Van Day Pop that we're likely to see a 38 to 42,000 Bitcoin price action. Next up, is crypto analyst Crypto Calio. He tells his 600,000 Twitter followers he thinks Bitcoin is setting up for a move to fresh yearly highs en route to 40,000 after managing to reclaim support at 27,000. Quoting him here, I'm a fan of this breakdown reclaim. See, this is a pretty solid risk reward long setup for a potential move back to the range highs. And yes, $40,000 is still a magnet. And next up, last but not least, we got Blunts, another crypto analyst who's calling for a parabolic surge. Quoting him here, starting to get some nice follow-through candles on the daily for Bitcoin after Friday's reversal. If this was a three-wave ABC down complete, which he outlines in this chart, then new highs are potentially on the table. Sentiment does seem to have flipped down here, with many expecting further downside now. Well, let me know your thoughts and which analyst do you most likely agree with. I think it's great that a couple of them here are predicting a 40,000 price action here in the near future, and I believe it's inevitable and only a matter of time. And with that being shared, fam, now let's get into the prediction from the Giga Chad himself, Michael Saylor. I have shared numerous different price predictions from Michael Saylor, and it was precisely 1 year ago on this day he came out and shared that he expects the Bitcoin price to go into the millions. So I want to share this for you because it is still relevant here today, and I'm going to ask you to please put in the comments, when do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to reach that seven-figure mark, $1 million plus? Do you think it will likely occur in 2025, the year after the halving? Now noticing the halving is less than about 11 months away from today's date. Do you think it is likely to happen years down the road? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. And yeah, so let's break down what Michael Saylor had to share. So Michael Saylor's bold prediction, owing to countless Bitcoin purchases, Saylor-led business intelligence firm MicroStrategy, which we all know, which was the first publicly traded company to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet and start that domino effect. And at this time a year ago, they held 129,218 BTC. But as of today, they now hold a whopping, you ready for this, 140,000 BTC. So Michael Saylor stuck with his word. He said, we'll keep buying Bitcoin, including at the top. And lo and behold, that's precisely what he did. So yeah, its enormous Bitcoin position is currently in the red. I think the break-even point is roughly around the 30,000 mark, which ultimately means when Bitcoin recovers at 30,000, that puts MicroStrategy back in the green. And I also find it interesting because, as we know, they're the largest publicly traded company to have the most Bitcoin on their balance sheet. But according to Max and the way things are going with Tether, it's only a matter of time before Tether eclipses MicroStrategy. This is called game theory. And as you can see right now, it's in full effect. So let's freaking go. So there is no shaking Saylor's confidence, which we all know, who assured that there is no price target at which MicroStrategy will begin liquidating its Bitcoin holdings. Even as the market-wide meltdown evaporating trillions of dollars in value, the leading Bitcoin maximalist and his company is patiently hodling. And quoting Michael Saylor from this interview with Yahoo Finance Live, check it out. There is no price target. I expect we'll be buying Bitcoin at the local top forever, and I expect Bitcoin is going to go into the millions. So we are very patient. We think it is the future of money. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Michael Saylor. And quoting him again here, he says, once people figure out why Bitcoin is superior to everything else, then the institutions are going to come in with large sums of money, and we are not going to have to struggle through this massive explanation of why we're different than 19,000 other crypto tokens. That's right. He has said many times, what's the second best cryptocurrency? You all know the meme. Michael says there is no second best. There's Bitcoin and there's Bitcoin. Let me know your thoughts surrounding his multi-million price prediction. I know in a previous episode, I shared him predicting $6 million. So there has been many very big price predictions. The $1 million question becomes, by what year does it become a realistic possibility, number one, for Bitcoin to hit six figures, which is 100,000? My prediction is next year in 2024, the year of the halving. I think we reached the cycle peak in 2025, the year preceding the halving. I think realistically, 200,000 to 300,000 price target is in the books. It was written. That's my perspective. Let me know what you think. And I think the whopping $1 million Bitcoin price will be sometime between 2028 in 2030, noting 2028 is the next Bitcoin halving, and typically the year we reach the peak cycle high is going to be in 2029. So that's why my prediction for $1 million Bitcoin price realistically sometime between 2028 and 2030. But let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments right down below. And welcome to each and every one of you tuning into today's live show. It's good to see everyone supporting the show in the chat. Bitcoin Trini, Bitcoin Maximus, Dan Drummond, Dan LP. And I'm going to scroll all the way up to the top. Mike, welcome and good morning. And appreciate you tuning in. He's a reminder saying he's 73 years old. That's what's up. And the beauty here is Bitcoin brings people together of all age groups. It doesn't matter if you're 15 or my daughter's age, 9, or if you're 73 years old like Mike M, or 70 years old as my mother is, or 70 years old as my uncle is. We're all Bitcoiners, bringing us together. So I think that's fantastic. Good morning. Evan says, Evan Rivero, good morning. I'm your Uncle Grandpa. That's a show I grown up on. I grew up on Looney Tunes, says Dankness. I remember that. I remember all the classic cartoons growing up. Remember Thundercats? I used to watch that one a lot. Yeah, man. Good to see you, Digital Dankness. Always a pleasure, fam. Dan Drummond, good to see you. Mentioned in Ledger's custodial service. Yeah, I did notice there was some sort of hack where Ledger had some sort of backdoor where they can retrieve your private keys. I need to research more into that. That is alarming. I also saw something regarding Trezor, fake manufacturers selling Trezor, which are hacked and they already have your private keys. So I can't stress enough caution. When you self-custody, you need to do your own research and figure out how not to get hacked, stay away from phishing attacks, and only purchase a Trezor wallet directly from the manufacturer, no third parties, as it could be tampered with and they can just steal your crypto just like that. So never accept a free wallet from anyone. I've gotten gifts at conferences where people are like, here's a free wallet. Did I ever use it? No, because at the end of the day, I don't trust that it wasn't tampered with, because you need to get it directly from the manufacturer. If that makes sense, let me know. I would have implemented it during the dip, not the bull market, but at least it started now rather than later, says Dankness. Welcome, Cyberman. TX, Texas in the building. And yes, this is pod episode number 1284. We're still going strong. XXX Birdsong, good morning and welcome. And what are your thoughts on what I shared this morning in the technical analysis? I shared one of the greatest Bitcoin metrics, which is the R HODL, which says the Bitcoin price bull run is here. Selling with Twins, good morning and welcome. Thanks for the reminder to smash that like, especially if you're new to the channel. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, of course, to share this with more people. And you absolutely need to ring the bell to turn on all notifications, getting notified every single time I go live. Good morning, Megadon. Good to see you as well. Bitcoin Maximus. Hey, JV and Crypto News Alerts fam. What is poppin'? Matthew J. Good to see you. Heading to Miami in 1 hour. Whoop, whoop. That's right. The big Bitcoin conference is taking place. I know Max Kaiser just touched down in Miami, and many of the influencers are arriving. So good stuff. Please do keep me posted with what you all witnessed firsthand at that event. I'm going to be tuning in to the live stream feed on YouTube, absolutely. Bitcoin Trini, good morning and welcome. Happy hump day. Pump day, Bitcoin stack and stats day, 50 fear and greed, not long, then we pump. That's right, we're dead in the middle right now, which is considered neutral. It is what it is. Brother Bitcoin Maximus, good morning, brother Bitcoin Trini. Question, would it be good or bad thing if Ledger was sharing your seed phrase and ID with third parties? It is absolutely bad. It's the worst thing they can possibly do. Why? Like, was there any rationale or logic on, that's what I didn't get to see in the part of the story. So please do enlighten me. That's absolutely not good. I've said it from day one. I've always trusted the Trezor more when it comes to hodling, Bitcoin in self-custody. I've always said it. I just feel more comfortable with it. Personally, a lot of people love Ledger though. So it is, what it is. I stress extreme caution. You don't want any third parties knowing your recovery seed, because you can't trust them. You can't trust anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. You know what I mean? So absolutely not looking good for Ledger. So thank you for sharing that, Dan. Hi, thank you for being here again. Litecoin halving does not affect either Litecoin or the market itself, at least according to past experience. Thank you for sharing that. That is right. There is a Litecoin halving, which always precedes the Bitcoin halving, with Litecoin being like the silver, the Bitcoin being digital gold. Litecoin, I believe, was the original fork of the Bitcoin network. Please do correct me if I am wrong. And you're very welcome, Dan. I appreciate your support. Thank you for tuning in. Selling with Twins says it's funny that South Africa has been accused of selling arms to Russia by the USA. In my opinion, the arms, they would have been sold years ago to embezzle the money. Well, we all know anything the U.S. government says is not true. So, take it with a grain of salt. In the house, LFC Liverpool Film Club. Appreciate you tuning in. Shout out to Tony Jeffries and shout out to Liverpool. The movie Lord of War in real life. Word up. Liverpool, the second capital of Ireland. We want it back. We Scousers have lots of Irish blood in the U.S. My great-grandparents from both sides are Irish. That's what's up. Rudy LaPlane says, caught one of my most important crypto news alerts live. Smash that like for JV. Greatly appreciate that and absolutely see you in Puerto Rico. You already know when Bitcoin surpasses that six-figure price action, we're going to have a get-together and celebrate a six-figure Bitcoin price. Is Gary talking about Bitcoin when he says Bitcoin? Who knows what Gary is talking about, Mr. No Clarity Gary. And shout out to you for having the flat map of the world on your icon. Much respect. You already know. Bitcoin can't be a commodity if the devs change it with updates, says DS Flat. Well, it is a commodity according to all the regulators. So we already have that clarity. That's the only crypto with clarity that is considered not a security. Everything else is fair game. We don't know, including Ethereum. You can't get any clarity out of Gary. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Calling out Gary, go Bukele. Yeah, massive shout out to Nayib Bukele and the people of El Salvador. Digital Bobby, welcome. Welcome, Bobby Digi. Hello from Los Angeles. Go Lakers. Let's go. Mark Thomas says, I don't think we'll see Bitcoin over $1 million until well into the 2030s. I do hope to be wrong, though. Well, appreciate you sharing your insights there. I think it could be realistic by 2028, especially with the banking collapses, the collapse of the dollar, the BRICS. I call it an old world order, but the new world order and all that's going on. Thundercats. Yeah, man. Remember Lionel? Ho! Putting that sword in the air. Throwback. JV is a modern day Lionel of crypto news. The greatest compliment I've ever received. Thank you. Welcome, OG Backroad Crypto Bootleg. Always a pleasure and always appreciate reading your username out loud during the live show. One of the coolest usernames. Dankness, let's not forget. JC and Wheeled Warriors, Toxic Avengers, Captain Planet. I used to hate Captain Planet. I don't know. I just never resonated with it. And then I found out it was like most of the cartoons are. They're New World Order, cartoons. Lo and behold, propaganda cartoons. Programming nonetheless, but yeah, classics. Moving my bags from Ledger to open source Cold Wallet. That's what's up. So from my understanding, Trezor is open source. Ledger is not. So if you have concerns about them sharing your private keys with third parties, I would absolutely move it out of the Ledger into an open source wallet such as a Trezor, and make sure you're getting it directly from the manufacturer, not from a third party. Miami, baby, let's go. 2023 Puerto Rico party, $100,000 in 2024. Let's freaking go. Satwise says he's Lithuanian and Sicilian. That's what's up. I'm 100% Italiano. My mom's side is 100% Sicilian. My father's side is Nobledan from Naples, so I'm half Sicilian and half Nobledan. Yeah, Bitcoin will be back at 30,000 this weekend. I sure hope so. And it's weird how that happens. Everyone's anticipating Bitcoin to pump because of the conference. Past couple of years, Bitcoin has dumped during the conference because keep in mind, typically the opposite of the consensus of the marketplace happens. If 90% of the market is anticipating a pump, we tend to dump. If 90% of the marketplace is anticipating a dump, we tend to pump. It's just the way that it is. Ordered 2 Blockstream Jades yesterday to replace my ledgers. That's what's up, Satwise. I guess I could wipe them out and use them to practice multi-sig. Yeah, use it as an experiment is what it is. By our powers combined, we create Captain Planet. I remember Pinky in the Brain. I even bring that up to my daughter all the time. She said, what are we going to do today, Papa? I say the same thing we do every day. Try to take over the world. Remember Pinky in the Brain? Classic. And that was from the Animaniacs, right? This fam should start a Bitcoin Citadel. That's what's up. I'd love to go to a Bitcoin Citadel. I think the Bitcoin Citadel officially is going to be Bitcoin City in El Salvador. But hey, we can have citadels all over the world, can't we? UFO Nut. What's good? What's poppin'? What's up? Good to see you, fam. Good. But anyways, now for a recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. I broke down the latest technical analysis, as well as shared with you one of the greatest Bitcoin metrics, which says the Bitcoin price bull run is here. I also shared breaking news that Tether to buy Bitcoin based on their monthly net profits. It's official. We also discussed that Lightning Labs launches an updated protocol to help solve the Bitcoin BRC 20 issues with the congestion on the blockchain, as well as breaking news, court victory for Ripple as the judge denies the SEC motion to seal the Hinman docs, hence why XRP is up roughly 5% for the day. We also discussed 3 top crypto analysts predicting big Bitcoin rallies for 40,000 plus, as I shared with you their targets. And we also discussed the one and only Michael Saylor predicting Bitcoin will go into the millions. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go now?